How you doing, guys? Here's your champion and commissioner once again with another huge announcement. I wanted to address what happened with the rule change last week. I heard all of your concerns at the party through text messages, and I think it was right that I not just ignore everything that was going on. I know some people were a little upset with how I broke the news and everything like that. So we're going to give everyone the opportunity for their voices to be heard because that's not how I want to run the league. All right. And I think it's very important that we set some, bylaws for our league. Like there's nothing set in stone. There's no rules that has ever been made over the years. I kind of just make rules willy-nilly and then hope that everyone kind of agrees. So we're going to, set a precedent. We're going to set how we're going to handle rule changes going into the future. And I think it'll make for a much fairer and more fun league for everybody. All right. So the first let's get into this. So over here is starting next year, June will be our rule change month. I like to start the league and activate the league at the beginning of June. So once I do that and you see the notification that the league is activated, you can start sending me all your suggestions, how you think we can improve the league, anything like that. You send them to me and I will look over them. The last 2 weeks of June, I will present any of those league changes that I think are will be good for our league. I'm not going to approve of a full auction league if someone suggests that, but something that's like, you know, somewhat minuscule, like I don't know, maybe getting rid of kickers or something like that, then maybe, I would consider that and make that a rule change. But yeah, we're gonna have a set time limit where you can give me those suggestions. I know a lot of you guys have different opinions on what should be um, made into an actual rule, but until it's actually presented to the league, I can't say that that's going to actually be what's going to change. So then after that, oh, July will be the rule voting. So any rules that I see fit to that needs to be changed, I will present them to there, and then you'll have 4 days up until July 4th. So you'll have all of July 4th to make your votes um, on whether or not the rule that I decided to be made needs to be vetoed. Um, and then after that, if the vote is vetoed, if everyone likes the rule, great, we move on, and that rule becomes a part of our league. But if for whatever reason any of the rules that I have put forth are vetoed, then we'll have from July 5th to July 14th to make any amendments to that rule to make it so that it would be more agreeable with the group. And then we'll have the following week from the 14th to the 20th, and the third week in June. That will be the final week that any rules can be altered from that point on, and then we'll go into the season from there. Because I even looking back at the rule change that I made, it is kind of close to when the actual draft is. So I think it's smart that we make these decisions early in the summer so that we can prepare accordingly. All right, so my restrictions. I can still make rule changes. However, like they won't become official until the following year vote. Like I'm gonna come to this draft with some rules that I think that we need to instill, but you know, and I still have that power to do that. And if everyone's okay with it, then the rule will become, we'll do that rule for that year or whatever. But it won't become official until we're actually the following year where we have the votes. The votes, and if it gets vetoed again, we were like, oh, we didn't really like that rule or this and that, then we'll just veto it out of the league. I can, however, be overruled. So if there's something that I'm not doing or you know, something that everybody disagrees on and I'm the only one that's not really getting with the picture, then I can be overruled with I'm saying unanimous 8 votes. So if everyone gets together, they basically say we want this rule, and eight people want to do it. I'm not saying 9 because that's not unanimous, because there's going to be like one person in that group that doesn't actually agree. So if there's 8 votes and I basically say, oh, I don't want this rule, or basically I'm vetoing this rule, or if it's a trade or any type of decision that I make as a commissioner and it gets an unanimous 8 votes get get overruled, we still have that power, just like Congress or something. But so that's basically how that will work going forward. But for the hopefully there's no, we never have any to use these rules, and really, well, I'm trying to use my best knowledge to make the best type of decisions. So hopefully these rules really don't ever have to get used. And obviously, if someone wants to run against me as a commissioner, you have that power as well. We'll do that every year. You let me know in the beginning of June that you would like to be the commissioner instead of me, and we'll have an election that day. That when we make those votes in the beginning of July. Um, I don't foresee myself ever not being the commissioner, but there's also a possibility that I can't do it anymore, and someone else has to. We have to have a new commissioner every year. The only caveat to that is that you're going to have to do everything that I do. Make the PowerPoint, make the power rankings, any of those types of things. But everyone has the free will to run against me if they so choose. All right, and now we're going to talk about, you know, the elephant in the room about this kicker to wide receiver tight end change. Now, I'm going to put it out there. I'm going to put it on the ESPN app for everyone to vote whether or not we should keep this rule. If it's vetoed, we'll just go back to last year's rule set. I don't want to make any other rule changes given how close that we are to the actual draft. But knowing how contentious and um, against everyone was against how this rule change went, I'm open to, not letting it go this year. And maybe I bring it up next year, and we change our minds that maybe we actually did like that change, or we want to make it to a flex, or we want to just make it to a straight wide receiver or 3 running backs or whatever. We can revisit it then. But as of right now, we are we're gonna put it up to a vote for now in this special situation. But for the most part, we're gonna try and keep it to that June-July schedule going forward. All right. I hope that just cleared everything up for everybody. Um, I'm not, like I said, I'm open to any type of any type of rule changes. I'm open to any type of suggestions, but I also like take pride in like this league and the way it is, and I think there's a certain level of strategy to this league that other leagues don't possess. You know, I fear a lot of things about certain bench spots and this and that, but like the deep bench and like gives those like gives purpose to those bench spots. I'm not having to give up my depth to be able to block and do this and that. So I think all those things are very important to what make the stage league so special. You know, and if anyone dissents, we have next year to really and you can start your campaign at the draft. Everyone's gonna have a moment to speak. There are not gonna be any rule changes this year at the draft, but if anyone has the opportunity that they want to like bring something to the group, the draft, this group chat, that all those methods are open to everybody. All right, so the final thing that I would like to show you before we go to the before I end this video is my team name. Now my team name is, everybody should know it. It's the team name that I always should have had. The team name that Big Dave denied me last year. So let me get this right now. I'm downloading it right now. So everybody knows, my connection to Cody Rhodes and the whole situation that transpired last year with WrestleMania. So I think it's only fitting, I'm getting it right now, it's only fitting that this would be my team logo and my team name. Here it is right here. And you're looking at the 2024 Ukrainian Nightmare fantasy football team. All right, you guys want to take the belt? You got to beat the champ. All right. Thank you, everybody, and we'll see. We'll talk. We're gonna send everything into the group chat. If you have any questions, the vote will happen in the ESPN LM poll. So all the votes will happen in that app, so that I have those things get saved, so I can see those later on, like in the future. So everything will be done in the app on ESPN. All right, all right, guys. I'll talk to you. This has been your commissioner.